Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Skokin. We're in section 9.2 and we're going to be talking about another type of transformation. In the last lesson we were talking about reflections, and this time we're going to be talking about translations. Our objective is to identify and draw translations, and our vocab is congruent, preimage, image, and translation. Let's take a look at the warm-up questions. We want to find the coordinates of the image of triangle ABC, and the pre-image of triangle ABC has vertices A, B, and it looks like it should be C. And we want to find the coordinates of the image after the reflection. So we don't need to graph it. We can work on the points independently, but you can graph if you want to. I want you to give it a go, starting out with the mapping rule that you're going to use to do the reflection. Turn the video back on when you are ready to check your answers. So you may remember that we had some mapping rules that we were given in the last lesson for reflection across the x-axis, where the y value turns the opposite sign but the x value stays the same. When we reflect across the y-axis, the y stays the same but the x value goes the opposite sign. And then when we reflect across the line y equals x, we reverse the x and the y coordinates. So remember, we talked about memorizing, the importance of memorizing those mapping rules. The other thing that you can do is you can always graph a point and figure out what happens to the coordinates when you reflect that one point, and then it's easy to come up with the mapping rules on your own. All right, let's take a look at the beginning of this lesson about translations. A translation, which you probably called a slide in middle school, is a transformation where every single point on the figure are moved in the same direction and the same distance, so that the entire image appears to have been moved or translated from one location to another without changing size, shape, or orientation. A translation is an isometry, which you may remember is a type of transformation that does not change the size or shape of the figure. And that means that the image is going to be congruent to the pre-image. So in example 1, we want to see if these figures demonstrate a translation or not. And with the first one, we see that it looks like a reflection, like a mirror image. So this one is definitely not a translation. In the second figure, number 2, we see that we have the same figure. It looks exactly the same size, same shape, same orientation, but it has been moved. So yes, this one is a translation. So we've written yes or no along with the explanation that we were asked to include. And on the next page, we're going to see some mapping rules for translations. So we see in our box, translations in the coordinate plane, that when we translate along the horizontal, in the horizontal direction, we can look at it as if it is being translated along a specific vector, giving us A units that we either go to the right if A is positive or to the left if A is negative. So if we start out at point P, x comma y, right here, and then we add to the x coordinate at some number A, and this distance would be A, then we translate that point or move that point to P prime, where the y coordinate is the same, but the x coordinate is now x comma x plus A. So here's our mapping rule for when we're translating in the horizontal direction. Now this is very similar, same idea when we translate in the vertical direction. We're this time going to be using a vector of 0 comma b, because only the y in this case is changing. So the x coordinate is going to stay the same and the y is going to have b added to it. Remember that b could be positive or negative, so it might be moving in the direction opposite what we think. But we're always going to pay attention to the sign so we know which direction to go. Now, when we have a vector that has both an A and a B, then we're doing both a horizontal translation and a vertical translation at the same time. So let's see how these work when we're talking about a specific figure. Example 3 says we're going to be drawing translations in the coordinate plane, and our instructions say translate the triangle with vertices D, E, and F along the vector 3, -1. The 3 indicates the x direction, and it's going to go in the positive x direction 3 units. The -1 means it's that second coordinate is the y direction, so in the vertical direction it's going to be going down 1 unit. Let's go ahead and start by listing the points under pre-image coordinates. The next thing that we want to do is write down the information that's going to help us that we are actually getting from this vector, this change that's taking place. And we're going to write it in such a way that it's easy to figure out exactly what the image coordinates are going to be from the pre-image and the change that the vector will create. So we see that we're going to have a +3 in the x direction and a -1 in the y direction. So we can write the coordinates down again, but leaving some space in between to be able to indicate the change that's taking place. So again, +3 in the horizontal direction and -1 in the vertical direction. So that's going to allow us to come up with the coordinates of D prime, E prime, and F prime. D prime is going to be located at 0, -2. E prime is going to be located at 8, -4. And F prime is going to be located at 1, -3. At this point, we can graph the pre-image and the image. Of course, we need to label everything like we always do. So you can pause the video now and graph your pre-image and image, labeling the points and labeling which one is which. Turn the video back on when you have completed the graphing. And we can see only the vertices were actually transformed, and we drew the segments between the vertices to create the triangles, but the whole image is actually moved exactly 3 units to the right and 1 unit down, just as the movement vector or the translation vector told us it would be. You've got a problem to practice this new skill, and I'm going to encourage you to fill everything out exactly the same way that I did on the previous example. The reason is it's going to really help your understanding. You may not have to show every single step every single time, but it really does help your understanding to be able to see it in both the XY coordinate form and the graphed form. So turn the video back on when you're ready to check your work. This time, just a quick heads up, you have a translation vector of -3 in the x direction and -2 in the y direction. Alrighty, go ahead and get started and turn the video back on when you're ready to check your work. Remember to label your points and label your image and pre-image. The vector had both an x component and a y component, so we see the original pre-image and the translated image. Our last example in this lesson is going to be example 4. It's a kind of real-world application. We can identify with the marching around. So in a marching drill, it takes 8 steps to march 5 yards. A drummer starts 8 steps to the left and 8 steps up from the center of the field. She marches 16 steps to the right in her second position, or to her second position. Then she marches 24 steps down the field to her final position. What is the drummer's final position, and what single translation vector moves her from the starting position to the final position? The drummer's starting position is -8, 8, and that ends up being, that position gets moved, or the drummer moves, I should say, 16 steps to the right. That's going to be a +16. That's going to give us a resulting location of 8, 8. Then we're going to take that as the starting position and This time we're going to see a translation of 24 down. And that is going to give us a resulting location of 8, negative 16. That's actually going to be where our final position is. Let's go ahead and put it on the graph now. We're going to start by graphing the, well, actually we're going to start by scaling. So I'm going to scale by 4s. You can pause the video and do the same. So now that we've got it scaled, we're going to graph the starting point, which is at negative 8, 8. So that's the start point. Then from there, the walker or marcher takes 16 steps to the right, and that results in a location of 8, 8. So that's going to put that right here, and we know that that's what happened. We had the starting point and we marched 16 units to the right. Next, the marcher marched 24 steps down the field. So that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because we're scaled by 2s. And that means the marcher took this path to get to the final location. So the next part of the question that we need to answer is what single translation vector moves her from the starting position to her final position. And what that is saying is that we want to make that movement instead. And so what we need to do is consider that the original point where we started out was at negative 8, 8. And we ended up at 8, 16. I'm sorry, negative 16. So how did we get from one to the other? And so what we're going to do is subtract, basically. So 8 minus negative 8 is going to give us 16. So we had a plus 16 in the vector. And we also had, as we go from 8 to negative 16, that means we had a minus 24 between the starting point and the ending point. So we now have not only our coordinate pair, but we also have the vector that was used to change from one position to the initial position to the final position. Okay, that is our last example. If you have any questions, remember to write them down in your notes so that you can articulate them in class the next time we meet. And aside from that, we'll be working on practice problems and a math space. All right, see you back in class.